The house I grew up in had 3 stories. Well, it had way more than 3 stories. It had hundreds, thousands of stories. I should have said it was 3 stories high. And actually, it was closer to four because of the sloping yard with a walkout basement. Of all the trees on our property, there was one particular tree that was special. I loved to climb trees when I was a kid, and this was a very climbable tree, uh, maple, maybe. It was taller than the house, so that would have made it over 40 feet back then. I think I was 7 years old when I climbed it for the first time, and when I got as far up as I could go, I saw my mom in one of the windows of the house, and I hollered to her and waved. She didn't see me at first, but as she raised her gaze skyward, there I was. I was a little confused by the expression on her face and the wild gesticulation of her hands, but I figured out she was trying to tell me to come down from the tree. She had no need to worry. I was fine up there. I knew what I was doing. I learned from the best, from my father. He was a climber. He loved heights. When he couldn't get into the service before World War II because of his hearing disability, he joined the Civilian Conservation Corps, one of Roosevelt's New Deal programs. They worked in national parks, making trails, planting trees, and such. There are plenty of pictures of my father casually standing on the branch of a tree higher up than I could ever imagine climbing. In 1959, we lived in Portland, Maine, and my father was a milkman for Old Tavern Farm. His route encompassed the surrounding communities, including the town of Raymond. In 1959, a local TV station built a new broadcast tower in Raymond. And in 1959, that tower was the tallest man-made structure in the world, over 1,600 feet. That's taller than the Empire State Building. Well, you can look it up. Sometimes my older brother would ride with my father on his milk route, and he remembers the day when they were driving by that tower and a man flagged him down. He asked my father if he could get 3 quarts of chocolate milk. And my father asked him if he was sure that he really wanted 3 quarts. And the man told him that one was for him and the other 2 were for the guys up on the tower. So Dad gave the man his chocolate milk, grabbed the other 2 quarts, and started climbing. The man on the ground shouted at him, "Stop, stop, no, stop." But he kept going. He was gonna deliver that milk in person. My brother was sure Dad was gonna die. He thinks he was at least halfway up the tower, maybe higher, when he reached the 2 workers. Made my brother crazy. He can't stand heights. Can't even get on a stepladder. My father stayed up there for quite a while. And when he came back down, he was like, "No big deal." Must have been quite a view, though. There were also times at home when my father would get the urge to move to a higher elevation. One day, my mom got a phone call from Russ, our neighbor across the street. Mary, my mom's name wasn't Mary, but Russ said she looked like a Mary, so we always called her that. "Mary, John's walking around on your roof. What's he doing up there?" She told Russ to come on over and ask John yourself. So he did. And he ended up going out there on the roof too. He and my father sat up there together for a long time, drinking coffee, taking in the neighborhood. I don't know what they talked about, if they talked about anything. I don't know what it was that made my father need to climb, need to, what, slip the surly bonds of earth. I mean, I could have asked him. I was a grown man by the time he passed away. Grown in years, but not in emotional maturity. I was self-absorbed for a very long time. So many things now that I wish I had asked him. Dad, what was it like growing up poor in the inner city with 9 siblings? Did you ever get over your brother dying in a fire when he was just a little boy? Is it true When you first met Mom, you told her she was the prettiest girl you ever saw. What did it feel like to sing on stage with Ella Fitzgerald? Twice. Were you really going to call yourself Johnny Vance if you made it big as a singer? What was it like to lose part of your memory after you had that accident? Did you really remember who I was after that? Would you even be able to answer these questions? Why did you need to climb? When the time comes and I meet up with my father again, my plan is to pack a lunch. And if that tower is still there, climb it all the way to the top with him. We can sit there, drinking chocolate milk. Maybe we'll talk, maybe not. Either way, it should be quite a view. Quite a view.
Oh my Lord.